the 5 best questions to ask before stacking silver and gold. Welcome to Yankee Stacking. Thank you so much for watching. You know, it's really essential to get an understanding of precious metals before you dip your toes into this market. And I'm going to answer those 5 questions, very important questions that you should ask yourself. And it starts with this first question: how can you invest in precious metals? Well, you can invest in precious metals by buying the physical metal like bullion bars and bullion coins, or you can invest by buying through financial products like a silver or gold exchange traded fund or ETF, and also by purchasing gold and silver mining stocks. Each method has advantages and disadvantages. While investing in precious metals through ETFs sounds super cool and really convenient, I mean, you just click on the Robinhood or Webull app and boom, there you go. There are several key issues that investors need to be aware of. First, if you invest in silver or gold through an ETF, you don't actually own the metal. You have no claim on the silver within the fund that you're using. So like say SLV, you can't take delivery of the metal if the need arises. You don't own it. In contrast, the key advantage of buying physical metals, such as bars or coins, is that you own the metal. Furthermore, the asset you own can be stored outside the financial system, and that reduces counterparty risk. Now, let me just define what counterparty risk is real quick. It's the risk when the other party in an agreement will default or fail to live up to its obligations. When investors buy gold or silver ETFs, they are relying on financial institutions to deliver on their obligations. And let me just say, JP Morgan is the custodian for the Spider Gold Shares ETF, GLD. So, yeah. In this regard, buying the physical metal is potentially a much more sensible option. So what are the key takeaways? Investors can get exposure to precious metals in 2 ways: physical gold, such as bars and coins, or financial products, like ETFs. With precious metal ETFs, you don't actually own the metal. The second question I think you should ask is, should I buy gold or silver? While both gold and silver have really attractive features, I think that gold is the better metal to own for wealth preservation and as a hedge against inflation. Gold has a much larger and more liquid market that is driven mostly by investment and jewelry demand. The price of gold is actually less volatile than silver. But, silver is really nice too. But it is a more speculative precious metal, and it does have a stronger relationship to economic activity. This is because silver has many industrial uses, and as such, silver can be, attractive during down cycles when the price of the metals is cheap, especially if you're looking to speculate. Remember, silver has a lot of upside potential, but you need to be willing to, play the silver game with a with a stronger stomach than gold. One big advantage of silver, and you probably know this already, is that silver is much cheaper than gold. Therefore, it's just more accessible to the small investor. And I get this a lot from many viewers. They say, Yankee, easy for you to say gold, but I can't swing that kind of a purchase. Fair enough. Stick with silver if you can't buy gold yet. But remember, there are options with gold. You can get fractional gold, like this Canadian gold maple leaf, and it is less expensive. You may have to save longer to get gold, and you may not want to do that. So stick with silver if you need to start stacking now, and think about gold in your future. Just remember, though, that premiums can take a big bite out of your silver purchases right now if you're not careful. So what are the takeaways here? Gold tends to be less volatile than silver's price. Stack silver for speculation and potentially dramatic growth, especially if you have a longer investment time frame. So the third question I think you should ask is, which is better, bullion bars or bullion coins? Government minted bullion coins, such as the gold and silver American Eagles, I think are the best type of precious metals for most investors. This is because sovereign coins are easily recognizable, easy to trade, and generally sell at higher premiums than bars. Now, you could buy, a 1 ounce bullion bar like this, but they tend to be a little harder to sell back, and the transaction costs tend to be higher. Some of the bars are really cool to look at, but I don't primarily stack bars. Now, if you're, filthy, stinking rich, like an institutional buyer, and you might want to buy very large quantities of precious metals. So in that case, large bullion bars are a more sensible option due to the lower premiums. Basically, people that care exclusively about stacking for weight should probably go for bullion bars. Those who want a little more trust with their stack and maybe some better resale should think about bullion coins first. By the way, that's me. That's part of stacking the Yankee way as a prepper stacker. I like bullion coins more. Those that are like in between, they want to focus on weight and trust, they should do a blend. And what about poured silver or silver art? Oh, I know this is a favorite with many stackers. They love to have, really cool poured bars and rounds and so forth. Really unique stuff. Guys, this is fun stuff. Feel free to buy some to enjoy poured silver for fun. But when it comes to actually stacking, oh man, I'm not saying anything bad about them, but this should not be, in my opinion, the primary way that you stack your silver and gold. 2 more notes. The first is that most generic silver rounds, like this buffalo, and other generic rounds, this is kind of interesting, a bear and a bull, this is pretty. Most bullion rounds like that are essentially silver bars in a circular format. There's very little that separates the two. So when you think rounds and bars, you're pretty much talking the same thing, at least the generic ones. And when it comes to higher premiums for government minted bullion coins, I get this a lot, right? I don't want to spend extra premium for an American Silver Eagle. The point is, get them at the lowest premium possible. Now, I know that's hard right now. Premiums are incredibly high, although they're starting to come down a bit. But I really like to stack cull or circulated bullion coins whenever possible. In fact, right here is a tube full of them. You can tell by looking on the edge. It's just a little dark. This is one of them too. It's a little bit scuffed up, a little, it's been, touched and circulated a bit. But that's okay. They are still highly recognizable, and they are still 100% silver. So, or in this case, 99.9% pure silver. So what are the key takeaways with whether you should buy bullion bars or bullion coins? Coins are a great way to buy precious metals for most investors. Coins are highly liquid and very easy to trade. Bars are good for those who care primarily about weight and only weight. And large bullion bars, well, they tend to be more suited for large buyers. The fourth question to ask before stacking silver and gold are, what is the best precious metals to buy? Well, For North American stackers, I would say the American Eagle and the Canadian Maple Leaf coins are some of the best coins that you can get. You know, whether it's the silver versions, like I showed you this before, and here's a Canadian Maple Leaf. This is 99.9% pure silver. This is 99.99% pure silver. So 3 nines, 4 nines, fine. Both 1 ounce. And also with the gold, American Gold Eagle. And this is a fractional 1/4 ounce Canadian Gold Maple Leaf. Okay, so this is 91.7% pure gold, 22 karat. It is a full 1 ounce of pure gold, but it just weighs a little bit more to make up for the copper that's in it. And this is 99.99% pure 24 karat gold. The American Gold Buffalo is also a great coin as well. Just be aware that the premiums are a bit higher and they only come in 1 ounce. For Europeans, the Austrian Philharmonic and the Britannia are really nice options as well. These are 99.9, 3 nines fine silver, so is the Philharmonic. These are really nice coins, again, especially for those in Europe. Again, I like to stack predominantly the government minted silver and gold closest to where I live. I'm in America, so I focus mostly on American Gold and Silver Eagles, as well as Canadian Maple Leaf. So those are good coins, especially for those in Europe. But the South African Cougaran coin is another excellent coin for investors. I don't have the gold version. It's minted in, again, 91.7% or 22 karat gold alloy and contains 1 full troy ounce of gold. It's actually one of the most traded gold coins in the world. And I do have a silver Cougaran. These are 99.9% or 3 nines fine silver. But also, 2 other good coins to get are the Australian Kangaroo and the Mexican Libertad. Very nice indeed. Be aware that the Libertad tends to have a higher premium. They are beautiful. But definitely, if you're stacking primarily with the lowest possible premium in mind, you definitely want to check out the Australian Kangaroo, especially if you live in that area. It's from the Perth Mint. Highly recommend that as well. In my opinion, as a prepper stacker, I think most people should stay away from sovereign coins that are from lesser known countries. I think you should just stick with the big names, right, to start. I also think you should steer clear of special edition commemorative sovereign coins. Now, these coins are usually more expensive to buy, and they resell for less than the better known coins. For example, if you're just starting out, I would avoid from the Perth Mint most of the, the kookaburras, the koalas. They're beautiful. They're fun to collect, but I wouldn't focus on them for stacking, as well as, some of the unique Britannias. Like this one is the Oriental border, cost more, higher premium. Of course, the Queen's Beasts, they're awesome, but again, for a newbie, someone just starting out, I would say stay clear of them for your stacking needs. Also, in when we're talking about Canadian coins, you can get reverse, frosted Canadian coins. You can also get the this is an incuse, sort of the maple leaf is set in. These are all unique. They all come with a higher premium. Again, it's something you really should think twice about before you stack those. Stick with the basics. That's my advice. What about constitutional silver? All right, we got a lot here. This is also sometimes called junk silver, although that triggers some people. Don't worry about it. You can call it constitutional silver, junk silver. It's fine, but I think these are great ways to stack as well. In the U.S., all half dollars, quarters, and dimes dated 1964 or earlier are made of 90% silver. So we've got a Benjamin here, $50. We've got a Kennedy $50. Here's a George Washington quarter. And let's pull up a Roosevelt dime. So these four are really good to stack. You can't go wrong with them. Yes, there are other constitutional coins like the Morgan silver dollar. It's a gorgeous coin. And the peace dollar. Both of these coins, all right, are also 90% silver. But they tend to command a higher premium due to their age and, key dates and so forth. So to keep it simple, when you're starting out, even though the peace dollar and the Morgans are absolutely gorgeous, stick with all the dates of the Benjamin Franklin $50, the 1964 Kennedy $50, and the 1964 and earlier George Washington quarter and Roosevelt dime. These are, I think, the best to start out with. Now, there are other 90% constitutional silver coins. You can get Mercury dimes and so forth. But these four items right here have the best chance of reduced wear and tear, and therefore the most silver by weight. And you probably won't pay any extra for them either because of, special varieties or key dates. Just make sure they've been circulated, no proofs or anything special. Skip the slabs, skip the graded for those coins when you're stacking. And there's not just constitutional silver you can buy, but constitutional gold as well. See, at the height of the Great Depression back in 1933, the U.S. government stopped minting gold as currency and actually recalled all the outstanding coins held by U.S. citizens. Sadly, most of them were melted down into bars to pay foreign debt. So there really isn't a lot of these gold coins around, particularly those that are in like uncirculated condition. But you can still get these gold coins today. And if they're circulated or cleaned, they're a great way to stack gold too. So what are the key takeaways? Well, the best gold and silver coins for North American stackers are the American Eagle and Canadian Maple Leaf. I mean, they're great to start out stacking with. For European investors, I would say Eagles, maybe. Austrian Philharmonics, definitely check them out. And of course, the Britannias. When you're stacking 90% silver or constitution or junk silver, stick with the silver $50, quarters, and dimes. Those are fantastic ways to stack your silver. And finally, the fifth important question that you should ask before you start stacking, and that is, what is the best place to buy your physical precious metals? Well, I think the number one way to buy physical precious metals is through your local coin shop. That's right. Hopefully you have one not too far away from where you live. But it is a fantastic way to get your precious metals. Why? Because you can establish a business relationship with the LCS dealer. You can potentially get some really good deals, and there's no shipping involved. If you can just get to your LCS and buy it, preferably with cash, it also keeps a level of anonymity that a lot of stackers love. My favorite local coin shop dealer, I've mentioned him before, is Tim Marshner at the Coin and Stamp Shop in Manchester, New Hampshire. So I do a lot of purchases through him, but there are other ways to purchase your precious metals. There are large, reputable dealers online that you should check out, like JM Bullion, APMEX, SD Bullion, Monument Metals, Bullion Exchanges, Bold Precious Metals, and a bunch of others. And you may also have the ability to buy from a local coin shop online as well. And, I want to shout out jcsgold.com. They are a wonderful sponsor of the Coast to Coast show that I do with Silver Dragons. And they have a fantastic site. So definitely check out jcsgold.com. They have plenty of bullion that you can purchase online, but that is another way that you can purchase your precious metals. There are also forums like the Silver Forum based in Europe, and forums on Facebook and eBay. Just be careful about that last one. Okay, eBay. I have had some great experiences with eBay, especially with their eBay bucks. It's a good place to buy your precious metals, but I think you should stick with the larger, reputable dealers that are on eBay. Like the ones I mentioned before, JM Bullion, APMEX, those that have eBay storefronts. You can also buy your metals in your area in person using apps like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Let Go. Those are really cool apps. I've used them before, especially with constitutional silver. People, get a hold of some of this silver, maybe from their deceased, grandparents or something, and they don't want it. They're just trying to sell it. Well, it's kind of nice to be able to save on shipping, maybe speed up the process of getting your metals by meeting up with people and making the exchange in cash. Just meet in a public place. Another great place to get a hold of some precious metals is through Instagram. I use Instagram quite a bit, and sometimes you never know when somebody will reach out and say, I'm looking to sell some of my silver. In fact, that happened to me just the other day. You can see right here, I stopped to buy a public place, of course, and I made an exchange of some fiat for 2 tubes of American Silver Eagles. It was quite a deal. So again, check out Instagram, and who knows, that could be a great place through which you can get some precious metals. Finally, you can purchase your metals through a dealer online that offers a buy and store program with a non-bank vault. Now that last idea is a good one if you don't care about physically holding your precious metals, or maybe you have a limited ability to hold your precious metals. It also is a good idea if you are concerned about the country you're living in and you may want to bug out, leave in a hurry. Having your bullion stored somewhere, maybe in a different country, is not necessarily a bad idea. It can be, safer to have your bullion stored in a secured vault, depending on your circumstances, of course. But do remember, you're going to have to pay a fee for that storage. However, I live by the old mantra, if you don't hold it, you don't really own it. Okay, so I like to have possession of my precious metals. So yeah, you may see a deal like, hey, you can buy this silver, you can buy this gold, and we'll store it for you. Well, make sure it's a reputable vault, and think twice before you do that. So here are the key takeaways for what is the best place to buy your physical precious metals. I think the best place is through your local coin shop dealer, followed closely behind by a reputable online dealer. And try to take physical delivery whenever possible. Well, I hope all 5 of those important questions will help you in your stacking journey. Think about those before you start stacking silver and gold. Well, thanks everyone for watching Yankee Stacking. Please like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. And as always, I hope your day is A-OK.